Hi, since you've clicked on this video, you have probably seen countless of footage regarding the new InZoi game, which is a life simulator game and arguably The Sims' first real competitor within the field. Now, perhaps you're considering buying the game, maybe you just want to see how it compares to The Sims, or perhaps you've already bought the game but have got a little bit overwhelmed and lost with all the new controllers and just not really sure how to make the most of it. Whatever the reason, in the next few videos, I'll be sharing some tips and tricks in order to help you have the most fun whilst you're playing, as well as show some gameplay to hopefully help you decide if you have been debating buying the game. In today's video, I'll specifically be going over the character studio and showing you how to create your own Zois, which are the characters in which you play with. But in later videos, I'll go over the build studio, the Canva option, as well as actually playing the game. Without further ado, let's get started. So when you load up the game, this is what you'll be greeted with. If you took part in the trial a few months ago, you would have already created a login, and because it's linked to Steam, you should just be able to log in straight away. But if you haven't, you'll be prompted to make a user at some point. Now you can see we've got a few different options on the left over here. You could also click on the computer, or you can click on your profile. So clicking on the computer or the profile will take you to Canva, which is where you can upload Zoids or buildings for other people to download. You can also go on there and download some characters yourself. On the left, you will either have a continue or start new game. That's how you get into the actual world in order to play, similar to when you're in Sims. And you'll see at the bottom we have creator mode, and that's what we'll be going over today. Build Studio is for building houses that you can save and either upload onto Canva, or you can later use in your games by just getting them. And Character Studio is the exact same but for the Zois, and that's what we'll be covering today. Awesome. Okay, we're starting off strong. So just using my mouse, I can zoom in and out. I would recommend using a mouse even if you're playing on a PC, because it just makes using the controls a lot easier. But yeah, you'll start off with a random Zoi. You'll have the profile here. You can choose their age. It's very easy just to click through all these different options. I prefer to edit them as a young adult, and you can change their gender, but I'm going to start off with a girl. Oh. And then on the right, you will see Zoi presets, face, body, outfits, craft, and accessories. So what I would recommend is going to Zoi presets first. Those buttons on the side will drop down to the bottom, and you'll be able to see on the right there's a lot of different Zoids that you can pick from that are already pre-made. When you create or download a Zoi from Canva, it will come up here and you'll see this little C, and that just shows you that you downloaded it. So this is actually a character I made, but I've just put it here for demonstration. So if I click through, you can just press apply, and it will just change to all the different preset Zois. So you can pick one that's most similar to maybe the character that you have in mind. There's just like a lot of characters to pick from. Oh, she's kind of cute. Oh yeah, you know, I'm gonna pick her. Cool. So I'm gonna go into face. I really like the hat, but I don't want to see it right now. One of the really good things with the Zoi is that you've got these preset options. So I showed you it for the Zois, which will include the face, the outfit for different occasions. However, if you were to go into face, you can also pick a preset here. So let's say I picked this character. Apply. You can see that her outfit, body and everything else has stayed the same. However, the face, which includes her hair and makeup and skin tone, have changed. But I'm going to go back. So if you want to save the whole character, you want to save it as a Zoi preset, and you've got that option up here. But if you only want to save a specific outfit, maybe a school outfit or a sleepwear outfit, or you want to save the face, then you can go into those individual categories to do that. But yeah, let's continue with hair. I'm going to actually change her hair to something shorter, only because I prefer when they have shorter hair. in order to like edit it. I don't like any hair in front of their faces because it just throws me off a little bit. But you'll see when we begin, you've got basic and detailed editing. So you typically start off in basic, and this will just allow you to have a few of these points where you can make changes. If you hover, you can see the difference. So I'm going to click here. I can see that's changing her eyebrows. Have a play. Like, honestly, you kind of just have to experiment in order to see what it affects. Like, some things will be left to right, some things will be up and down. So just sort of give it a go. She's cute. So yeah, this is like, the lips are like a left to right type thing. But we're liking, actually kind of like, I'm going to bring her nose a bit lower down. Oh, this is cool. So if you zoom in on the eyes and hover here, you'll see there's a few different options. So if you click on this, that will tilt the actual eye. So that's a bit easier to do from on. One tip is that when you're hovering over it and you see the little controllers that you're clicking on, it's a bit hard to see how it looks. So focus on the opposite side to see the actual effect. But yeah, if you click this one here, that's like to open it or make it wider. So I'm going to give her quite wide eyes. And if you hover the other way, that's just to go left or right. So now, if you click on the detailed editing, you'll see you get way more spots. And effectively what that lets you to do is to go into more detail, shockingly enough. So for example, before I could only edit the nose sort of to make it a bit bigger or smaller, but now I've got more options. So for example, I'm giving her sort of a lower bridge, and if I turn her face around, oh my gosh, it was too zoomed in. Let's say I want to change her nostrils. Now I've sort of got that option. But I find it really helpful to swap between them because let's say right now, oh, another thing is depending on the angle, you can edit things better or smaller. So like from the left, this is all I can do with the nose, kind of just move it up or down. However, if I do it from the front and I hold on the nose, but I move my mouse to the left, I can make it smaller, and if I move it to the right, I can make it bigger, which I couldn't do from the side. That's also sort of like as low as her nose seems to get. Can I make it lower from this side? No, I can't. That's definitely hair. So yeah, I'm going to make her nose a bit smaller and then go into detailed mode to play around with what I'm after. A bit higher. But I love it. It's very similar to Sims 4, I would say, in the way in which you sort of edit. Oh, that's to give like a little chin cleft thing. I love it. I am definitely a Sims 3 gamer, and once you get to the actual in-game play, you will see that it's a lot more similar to Sims 3, but the editing bit is very much just Sims 4. So another thing, you can see that her eyelashes are quite low, which is very cute. But if you rotate to the side, you'll see there's an option to lift the eyelashes a bit lighter. So I'm going to be quite quick with editing the Zoi. Well, I'm going to try. But the main thing I'm going to do is just try and cover all the useful things for you guys so that when you're playing, you're able to customize the characters in the way you want. But I think that'll do for her. So she's looking cute, and if I move my mouse away, all the dots will go, and now I can have a proper look at her face, and I think she looks cute. I love her eyes. I actually really like her. I'm gonna save her after. What I'll do is I'll save the characters, anything I make, I'll save them onto Canvas, which means if you go onto my account, you'll be able to download them. So if you end up liking the characters, you can play them in your own Zoi games, or see some of my others. Cool. So I'm now going to go into hair. You can either edit through short, medium, long, tied up, and if you just unclick it, you'll get all the options again. So I kind of like that. But there's there's not too many options, I'm going to be real, but it is only the early release stage. Oh, that's cute. That is a contender. It is only the early release stage, so there's only so much they can do. But I do really, really hope that they bring some more hairstyles. Ooh, I'm rocking that. Kind of, that's a lot. I'm loving it. There's so many options. Which do I'm kind of feeling that. Oh, that's cute. There's something about a short hairstyle today that's like appealing to me. I think either this one or this. I think I'm gonna go for this. That's a bit different. And now, if you click into color, you'll have a lot of presets. So you can just click through those, or depending on the hairstyle, if it's got highlights as an option, you'll be able to click through. So if I click on this curly one as an example, you can see there's like way more options. You can really customize it. Another thing is length. Not all hairstyles will have this, but with some of them you'll be able to adjust. So the one I was on does have this feature, so I can make it shorter if I want to. The hairs really aren't that long. Like, I think this one's probably the longest it gets, and even then it's not that long. But yeah, I'm gonna go back to my hairstyle, and I think for coloring, what color would be good? Pardon me. I'm split between something blondish. Yeah, that's cute. That is cute. Oh, this is another thing. If you follow people, you'll get little notifications when they upload something new. So if you follow me, you'll be able to see all the Zoids I create. I'm happy with her. No, I prefer mine. Yeah. So next I'm going to go into skin. As you can see, you've got all these different presets that you can click on. I'm just going to go back. And then once you click the initial base, you can click within that, and there's a lot of different variations. But I like her with a bit more melanin. That is the vision I have for this character. I think I'm going to go for that shade. But you can also customize it down here. Cool. Facial characteristics. So we're going to zoom back in. There's a lot you can do just to make them, I guess, a bit more realistic and more human. Like give them eyebrow creases or like eye bags. You can't really see it too much with her. Oh, you know what? I lie. You kind of can. There you go. So you've got all those options. With cheek, it's just kind of getting rid of the cheek fat. Nasal bridge is giving it more defined, which might work maybe if they've got more European style noses. I think nasal bridges tend to be more defined. Got smile lines, lip lines. That just gives the actual lips a bit more. Oh, wrong one. Just a bit more detail. I'm gonna give her a little bit. You've got a chin cleft, which I'm not gonna do. You've got jaw as well, and it just kind of highlights it. So we're gonna give her a little bit. And then you've got glow, which in my opinion basically is just mimicking if you have oily skin, or I guess a very good skincare routine. I'm not the biggest fan of how it looks. For some characters I do it, but yeah, I'm gonna keep skin glow low. Then we go on to eyes. So you've got loads of, ooh, shaking. That's a look. You've got some very interesting and wild ones. Like you can see here. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay, I'm using that in another time. But then you've got some more, you know, realistic everyday eye colors that aren't stars or weird little animals. I've really liked the all black though. One thing I will say is whenever you click on it and the whole screen flashes, it's quite jarring. That is something I don't like, particularly if, like me, you're clicking very quickly through a lot of different things. You can click on the color wheel here as well, and you can just edit. So in this case, you can edit the inner iris, and I can edit the outer iris. Honestly, that's a really cute look. There was just something about the darker one that I really liked. So I think with this character, I'm gonna keep her eyes darker. I think it looks cute. We're just gonna go through a little bit of color, almost like a sort of weird grey, not weird, hazily grey or something in the outer rim. I think that looks cute. Eyebrows, I actually really like her eyebrows. I'm not gonna change them, but you can just go in. Similar with the hair, there isn't that much option, but what I will say is if you click an eyebrow and you don't like how it looks, use the basic editing and the detailed editing to shape the eyebrow around. You can make it look thinner by using that, so don't be fooled by how it initially looks if you click on an eyebrow and you don't like it. And I'm gonna go into eyelashes. Similar with everything, you can change the color. I actually really like how hers looked before, so I'm gonna keep that there. Okay, makeup. She doesn't have any, so if I click through, you can see that I think some of them are a bit too light for my thinking. That's cute. I'm gonna go with this one, but you can go in and you can move it around. So this is supposed to be tone, so I'm just gonna keep this warmer. Glow is just how bright it is. I'm gonna keep that bright. And then you've got contour. You can change the intensity. I kind of like putting it quite intense so I can just color match it a bit better. And then I might drop that intensity down and just move things around. I think that's okay. Cool, we're gonna go into some, ooh. That was a bit very, I kind of like the blush she has. They've not set it very high. So I'm gonna do something like this. No, I changed my mind. Oh, that's cute. And you can see what I really like is that you can change it for nose and blush, because I know in my own personal makeup, I do a lot more blush on like my nose. I kind of want one where it's a bit lower. Yeah, that's the one we want to do that. And then her nose is going to be nice and cute, a bit bolder, a little bit of gloss. She's looking cute. I like that. Okay, eyeshadow. Similar. You've got lots of different options to pick from. I like what she had before. It's kind of like a naturalesque type thing. She's having a very neutral base. And then eyeliner, love a little bit of eyeliner. I think this is super cute. I quite like that as well. So yeah, lots of different options that you can kind of play around with. That's super cute. Not necessarily for this character, but that is a cute tool to do. Yeah, we'll take that. And then lipstick. Oh, this is when you realize you did her lips wrong, because you'll click on like a different type of lipstick and suddenly their lips will look completely different. So I would recommend taking off the lipstick when you initially edit them. Otherwise, yeah, like I guess it's kind of good that they do these different types of lipsticks, because it does show you the power of makeup. Like, you've designed her lips in one way, but obviously depending on the type of makeup she's doing, it's completely changing the lip style. But I'm liking this upper corner and actually this sort of nude one. But I'm gonna go on this one. I'm gonna change the color around. One other thing, so for example, if I go over here, I quite like this shade. I'm going to press the plus and that color is now saved. So now when I go back here, I can click on there and boom, hey presto, I now have that shade here. And if I can go into outfits, I can go to anything else and that shade I've saved will be there. I think that kind of resets every time you open the game, so it's only there for whilst you're playing the game. Once you log out of the game and come back in, that will all be wiped. Maybe I'm not liking that as much as I thought I would. Maybe, I think if I get rid of some of the gloss. But it's fine. I just like how much you can customize it. I really like it. And for me, it feels very intuitive. Like, there is a degree of obviously learning and playing around. That's so cute. She looks so real. like they just look really, really real. Yes. And the final thing I'm going to do is go back into face characteristics. Sorry, I skipped this earlier. You've got the option for moles. I'm going to give her something cute on the side. Yeah, something higher up. Because if it's on the other side of her face, you're not going to see it, because that's cute. And you can go in and change the colour of like the moles. They're not moles though, they're beauty spots. You can obviously do freckles, you can do scars, and I like that they've got pimple patches. This I think is super, super cute. We'll definitely do for a different character. But yeah, if you go into face paints, that's where your tattoos are. So at the moment, she's got this tattoo, not feeling it for the character, so I'm going to get rid of it. But that's how our little girl is looking now. I said little girl, sorry. That's how our character is looking. Something isn't matching though. Isn't match? It's her makeup. It's her eye makeup. I was wrong. Needs to go. Oh, but now. Yeah, that's a bit better. We'll do that. Okay, awesome. So now that we've done her hair and makeup, it's time to edit her body. So you've got lots of presets you can pick from, so you can just experiment around by clicking here. You've got really fit ones. I actually kind of just liked her initial body, so I'm going to keep it like that. And what you can then do is click onto body shape, and this is where you'll be able to customize it. So you can get them very ripped. I think she'd have a little bit of muscle, and then you can change the body weight. So I'm going to give her sort of just mid body size. And similar to before on the face, you'll see all these little things pop up, and that's where you can customize the way you like. So I'll just have a little bit of a play around, but I don't have too much of a preference. So I think the way they did it. One cool thing though is obviously you can make the heads really massive. So I guess if you're going for a more cartoon character, that works, but I do want this to be a bit more realistic. So that's the body. And now we are on to outfits. I won't spend too much time on this either, but you've got preset outfits, like I said before, where if you click and apply, you'll get a whole new outfit. That's super cute. That's probably what I'm going to give her. Or you can go in and individually edit stuff. You'll see on the left here, you can hide things. So for example, I'm going to hide this jacket so I can fully customize everything that she's wearing underneath. You can also click into color. Oh, you can't with that one, but with some of them, you can click into color and you can customize it as much as you want. So you've got your outerwear for your jackets, you've got sets. So there's a few different options. If you're not really liking what's there, or maybe you don't want to spend as much time playing around. Okay, we've got to get rid of that jacket. That's not a GLA. Yeah, cute options. And there's this other bit which I think was like a designer thing. Someone press apply. Which they have some really cool outfits here. Like that's a look. Is it a look for her? I would wear this. I 100% would wear this. Anyway, I'm gonna go with the little presets because I'm feeling lazy. So, oh no, that was for sleepwear. Oh, I'm such a fool. Okay, back to everyday. Well, this is a look, but where's the outfit I just had? Cool. We're going to give her that for every day. You can then click into accessories and you can accessorize by each day. So I'm just going to give her some cute gold hoops. Nice simple one. And once again, you can click in, you can change the different colors, but the presets will just have like your typical gold, rose gold, silver. So you can do that quite nice and easily. I love the nails. I'm a nail girl in real life, so I really appreciate the variety of nails that they have here, from short to long. And then yeah, I'll just go give her, that's a cute color. Yeah, I'm gonna give her that. But yeah, I'm really liking the variety. But then what you want to do is go back to outfit and then swap to the next thing. So this is the things you have to pick outfit for, the occasions, is every day. There's also formal. I already know what I'm going to pick. Apply. That's cute. What is it? You can't edit the outfit whilst you're in preset, so you need to go into the individual category if you want to change the color. I think I'm preferring this darker brown. No, I'm preferring the black. And then I'm going to change those to cute black as well. Oh yeah, you can't really see necklaces with this outfit, so there's not really any point. But I'm going to change the earrings to silver because I think that looks nicer now. Could give a tiara, could not. Nails. We'll do that. And you could just about see the bracelet. But yeah, there's not too many options, but it is early release, so it's to be expected. I'm going to keep this for school. For sleepwear, I'm just going to find some generic pajamas. Have I missed them? Those are cute. We're removing those though. Party wear. So yeah, I'm just going to speed through. Okay, well, I'm not speeding that quickly. That is not a look. So who am I to judge? She can wear her trainers with this, what looks basically like a wedding dress if she, no, come back. If she wants, yeah, if you do try and like hide the full-on outfit, it will just default to whatever underwear they've got underneath, which you can change at the bottom here. Oh wow, you really can't change the colour. It basically is a wedding dress. Well, you know, that's something to know. I'm not feeling the white. Don't know why. Oh yeah, that's cute. And then what I'm going to do, because I want the shoes to match, I'm going to add the colour here. I'm going to click into the shoes. And we're going to change it. So it's going to match the dress, which makes it very, very easy to match stuff. Yeah, hopefully, you know, the game is feeling a little less daunting. A bit more fun. Honestly, like when you first click into this, like of any game, you kind of just have to give it a go. But with time, you start to, oh, I'm gonna get rid of that and that. It will become a lot easier. Like now, I'm running through this pretty quickly. We're just gonna, yeah, that gives winter. Does now. Cool. So that is our character. And like I said before, so what I can do is if I decide I really like this outfit, I can now go to outfit presets and I'm going to press save. And if I just press save, like so, it will just save into here. So I can now see it in the top. Same with face, which I'm going to do because she looks cute. However, if I'm going to go into InZoi presets. Let's say I wanted to upload it onto Canva, and I could have done that for face or any of the outfits. Let's put it in her everyday outfit. I'm now going to press save, but rather than just clicking the save button here, I'm going to press upload to Canvas. And although I will do a more detailed video going over this in more detail, as part of the character studio, you can see Zoi presets, face, and what you can do is just type, I don't know, crown. What's a good name? What shall I name her? I shall name you Chloe, because my friend's name is Chloe and it's the only, it's the only name I can think of. I'm going to be like Chloe preset. You basically do a title for what you want to call it, so you can give them a name or you can describe what it is. And there you do. And then you can add some tags. So I could say, I don't know, girl. But the most important thing is that you have to take a picture of whatever you're doing. So I'm going to click into picture and it takes you to this studio type area. So you've got some instructions on the back. The main thing really to remember is just scroll in to zoom and use the same controls that you were doing before to rotate to get the right angle. So you can also change her expression. So look at her. She's got a cute little smile. Oh, doesn't she look nice? So we're going to take a picture. So you click this bottom one and boom, press save. And now people know who she is. But let's say we want to take a wider picture of her outfit, have her smiling again, but we want to click on pose. If you go through these, there's a lot of different poses, and that way you can make your pictures just stand out, look a bit cuter. That's cute. That's nice and formal. So let's take that picture. Now you might be thinking, oh, this is looking a little bit dull. What you can then do is, if you click on the bottom right, you've got a few more options. So there's facial. Oh, I'll show you that in a moment. If you click on camera options, you can see background. And that just changes things a little bit. It will also allow you to zoom in even more that you can't in the original setting. But I'm not going to do any of that because I'm content with what I have. Oh, no, I changed my mind. We're going to remove the background. So I'm happy with all of that. But yeah, the facial expressions are pretty good. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to say I'm content with that, and I'm going to upload. The other thing is it will say the authors. So the reason InZoi outfits is because I've clicked on some of the presets and I haven't changed it at all. So it's just said that the author is InZoi, even though for some of them I've changed it. I'm going to press upload. So now that will go to the canvas, and that means anyone who follows me or just anyone who sees it will be able to either like or download this. And you can see here, if you go on my account, you can see all the other characters I've made when I've had slightly more time. So one other very cool thing you can do is if you want to take more pictures, maybe better ones, you can click on Studio. This gives you some more options in terms of the backgrounds. I like this one. I tend to use these two. So if you change the background to this and press X, when you then go to upload onto Canva, it will take this new background into consideration. You can also adjust the lighting a bit better. So you have to do all of this whilst you're still in the character studio bit. You won't have these extra settings once you're in Canva. So that's the only thing to sort of be mindful of. Yeah, you can just like change the lighting and stuff to make it better for when you want to take pictures. Something is, yeah, that's better. You can see her face a bit better now. But yeah, I'm just going to go back to the normal one. What the other very, very cool thing I'm going to show you that Sims did not have, because a lot of what you're seeing is very similar to Sims, but this is something Sims did not have, and that is you're going to scroll on her, and you're going to go to the top, and you're going to see facial capture. So you've got to make sure your phone is connected to the same Wi-Fi. You're then going to download this app. I promise it's not dodgy. You're going to click through all the little instructions and you'll be good. That's me. I've connected. Hey presto. And oh my gosh, would you look at that? I'm talking, and so is my Zoi. And she's smiling a lot, which makes sense because I'm smiling. What all you have to do is when you're on your phone, there's a little button that says live. So you're going to click on the live button, it will go to green. And now, whatever you say, whatever facial expressions you pull, oh my gosh, she's me and I'm her. Look at us smiling together. So yeah, I think that's really cool. It even does like your eyebrows, but mostly your mouth is the main thing that's moving. But I think that's just a really cool feature. And to stop, it's just really cool for when you're doing photo shoots as well. Oh, didn't mean to do that. And all you have to do is press live again and it will stop. Oh, she looks so serious now. She looks so much nicer when she's smiling. Oh gosh. Can't believe these words came out of my mouth. But awesome. So that is the character studio. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that's cool to show, but I think that's it. That is your fundamentals. Oh, I lied. There's craft. You're probably wondering, what is that craft? So this has a lot of potential to be really, really cool. But basically, when you go into craft, it gives you a basic top, or you can click on bottoms or skirt. And when you click on the buttons, you can customize and effectively craft the top, which I think is super cool. So I really like this type of collar. I'm going to click on the bottom bit and maybe I'm going to give her something like that. I think that's looking really cool. But you can also change sort of the color. I don't think I like that too much. I don't know. I'm just playing around. Yeah, let's go for like a darker shade. That's looking cute. So now you've basically just customized your whole new top, which is super, super awesome. And you can change the sleeve length as well. Why is this low-key looking like a really nice top? That's called skill. That's called talent. But that's a really cool new feature that you can play around with. There's also one more, which is motion capture. And I think they have another feature where, here it is, 3D printer decorations. You'll basically be able to click on a thing and then like take an actual picture of something in real life and upload it. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Yeah, so you need to upload a photo and it will convert it into the 3D object in the game, which I haven't tried yet. But if that's something that you're interested in seeing how that looks, let me know and I can do a specific video where I trial out that option. But yeah, once you're happy with everything, you would just press save, or you can just click out if you don't want to change it. But that is our character studio. Look at her. Look how pretty she is. She's living life. But once you're done, you would just press complete and save and complete, and you're all done. And it will just take you back to the homepage. So the most important thing is to be sure to just save them as a preset if that's what you're after, and to upload it onto Canva if that's sort of part of what you want to do. And you can see one of my creations has surpassed 10. Brilliant. Well, that is the InZoi Character Studio. Hopefully you found that fun and now know how to play with the studio a little bit better now. I'll obviously be covering some of the other aspects of the game in later videos. If there's one you particularly want to see sooner, then let me know in the comments. And I hope you found this really fun and educational. Be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see more of the videos later on, so you'll get those notifications. Thank you for watching till the end, and see you next time.